Hey guys, it's Morgan with Longhaul Lifesavers, and today is part one of our mini series for moving. So part one's gonna be about packing up the inside of the RV and the outside of the RV, and everybody does it different. There's no right or wrong way, but who knows, you might find something that we do that might work for you. Stay tuned for part two, which will be actually moving day. That's gonna be about like hitching up and going down the road. And then part three will be the setup. Alright guys, so one trick that I have is the clear plastic containers that you get from buying sheets. And then, so this is, I don't know, I've been doing it the whole time we've been RVing. I keep all the plastic bags for any item in the house that is breakable. And so I always have the exact amount of plastic bags. I wrap the item in it, and then anything that's glass goes in here. The other thing I store in here are dog collars from the dollar store. Those are going to secure the cabinets. I can reuse them over and over again, and they are adjustable in size. So let's get started. I've now gone through the kitchen and removed anything that's glass that's in the cabinets, and I've wrapped them, as you saw previously, in plastic sacks and then put them into the container right here, so for easy storage, and it keeps everything nice and tight. Now I've had people ask me, why do I wrap them in plastic bags? Well, because I've had glass things break, and when glass breaks, you have a disaster. So if they're wrapped in a plastic bag, it gives them cushion, plus if they break, it's all contained within the bag itself. So that has saved me a lot of time in the past for anything that has broken. So now I'm gonna go around the house and grab any of the like knick-knack stuff that is glass that would be packed also in this container here. So let's get to it. So I've gathered up just the remainder of the knick-knack stuff, the little stuff that can be broken, that I'm gonna wrap and put into here. As you can see, I really don't have very many knick-knacks. Over the years, I have gotten rid of as much stuff as possible because it's just too much to pack. Makes it much easier. You can still have a little bit of a homey touch, like I've got my little willow tree collection, but you really don't need all the stuff. So let's get to it. Alright, so I have my plastic container all done, so this is ready to set aside, and then I will put that away almost at the end of everything, right before I put all the cabinets on. I do have some of the larger items that don't fit in here, and I'll show you where I put those later, but I still have a couple more things to grab. Alright, so a big question is, what do you do with these guys? So, like I said earlier about anything glass that I wrap into a plastic bag, when I wrap these bad boys, I really double check that they have no holes in the bag whatsoever, and I double wrap them, so if any of these break, the bag catches all the liquid. Again, learned from mistakes. When I'm done wrapping these all actually go into a basket, and then I actually wrap blankets in between them as well. Big tip for RVers, try to drink all your booze before you actually travel. Then you don't have to worry about it at all. So now that I've got all the glass things wrapped, I've set everything on the counter that hasn't been packed away yet. It's just been wrapped and ready to pack. And now I'm gonna go around and collect all the, you know, any artwork or anything that's hanging on the walls, and take that all down, and then I stack it all and I place it on the floor. if you haven't noticed yet, I am only working in the kitchen and living area because it's one big room. So when I pack up the house, it goes room by room. That way you don't miss anything. And everything I touch, I set onto the island. That way I don't ever forget to pack something. So when we pull the slides in, when we're ready to go, the island is visibly the last thing I see. So if I forgot to pack something, it's gonna be sitting out on the island. It's just kind of one more extra step that I take. So once I'm completely done in the living room and kitchen, then I follow suit, move to the bathroom, and then to the bedroom. So however your coach is laid out, it really helps if you work room to room, you know, front to back or back to front, whatever your choice is, but it really helps you instead of you going back and forth through the coach and then missing something. Continuing on, I'm gonna put all these, I'm not ready to actually clasp them yet on any of the cabinets, but I like to hang them on the cabinets so that they are ready to go. And it's another double check. If you guys are noticing a theme, double check everything. So that way when we are ready to pull the slides in, I can look at all the cabinets and see if one of these is not clasped, that means I have not secured that cabinet yet. So the little collar that I use on the fridge is actually a cat collar from the dog store because the dog collars don't go down small enough. So that's always another option if you have smaller handles than we do. Cat collars work just as well. So if you guys are not aware, I will put the video here for you. We had a Samsung residential refrigerator that went bad and we replaced it with this Whirlpool fridge. So it is not technically an RV fridge, even though they have residential RV fridges. It does not come with the safety latches for an RV fridge. So what we ended up doing was on Amazon, there's a 4-pack of this little doodad here. And this is just a child safety lock, and we actually installed it on the side of the fridge for the freezer door, and then it snapped to the side of the door so that way the freezer will not come out during transit. So I'm not going to show you guys what it looks like because you've all seen vacuuming before, but I want to tell y'all, before we pull the slides in and pick everything up, I like to vacuum everything really, really well. That makes sure that there's no debris on the hard surfaces of the floor when the slide boxes roll in, and it's not gonna scratch or tear your floor. Also, it's kind of nice to arrive somewhere and everything's already clean. So this is the before and the after. Got the rug and everything put up and the chair stacked in the corner on this side behind me, and then you see that empty spot there. If you've ever seen any of our outside footage or our Instagram photos, we have 5 patio chairs that all stack right on top of each other and they all sit in that empty spot right there. Later tonight when we are done sitting outside with friends and stuff, all that will come in so that way it's all ready to go in the morning. One thing we talk about a lot in our videos is having multi-purpose items in the house. So I found a basket here that I really liked. It's actually a wire basket, but it's woven with fabric, and it's a real soft plush fabric. So when I talked earlier about where do I store the liquor bottles, I wrap them in the thing and then wrap blankets around them. John and I just cut this wood piece and created a table, so that's normally what sits between the 2 chairs. But for travel purposes, this just pops off. I store all my winter blankets in there and we use it for travel days. A cheap way and a creative way to have multiple purposes. Well, I was going to use this red throw to wrap all of the hanging art on, and then I slide it all right underneath that chair, but apparently Mia thinks that she needs to have another rug out, so I guess that'll be another minute. So I've just stacked it all on there. I'm going to literally wrap it just like a present and slide it right underneath that chair.
we like to do is tear our computer setup down, lay our tower on the side, and then we place our monitor on our bed after we pull the slides in, so that way it's, you know, we have a bunch of blankets and stuff that we can wrap around it. We also take our stools that we use for our bar, and since they are adjustable tops, we push our chairs in as far as they'll go, and then we wrap the bottom legs of the stools around our chairs, and then we thread our seats up so that they're pushing up against our desk. This doesn't move, and these won't slide out.
So I told you all that our outdoor wicker chairs all go into that blank hole, so you can see how they're stacked there. That way the slides can just roll in. That's pretty much the back half of the coach wrapped up. When we're pretty much done with everything, I like to do a final wipe down and make sure my counters are all clean. It's kind of nice to pull into a new spot and everything's clean before you set stuff back on them. Don't have to do it again. Plus, we're in New Mexico and it is super dusty, so there are some odds and ends things you see over there and over here. And like I told you guys earlier, everything that I need to do last minute, I always leave on the counter, because the island and the counters are the last thing that I see when the slides are pulled in. So for example, the plants, they get moved into the shower in the morning after, you know, we've gotten ready for the day. We do set out our clothes the night before for those groggy mornings. We also have the coffee ready, and then anything that goes with us into the truck, it sits right on the counter at the front door so that I don't forget it. Our final step in securing everything is the dog collars that I talked about earlier. And this is what I call my time to be a flight attendant. I go around and I check every door is actually latched, and then I secure the dog collar. I don't ever secure them until I know that I've actually gone through every single cabinet. If there's one hanging open, that means I haven't secured what's inside the cabinet yet. Done. After we finish the living area and the kitchen, I move to the next room, which is the bathroom, and secure all items in the bathroom, and then I go ahead and give everything a once over cleaning, so that way, like I said, it's all fresh when we get there. In this, I like to use containers so that way it holds everything. If there's any gaps that I feel like something might break, I go ahead and shove a towel in there and all is good. So the last step is to make sure that we slide those glass doors and make sure that this is latched onto them so that they don't break. And we're done in the bathroom. One tip that we have found helps is not to have your freshwater tank full while driving, because that's a lot of extra weight that you're towing and it's a lot of extra strain on the actual RV. So I just fill a gallon of water and then I leave it in the bathroom, so that way if we have to use the restroom while we're on the road, I just use this as toilet water instead of, like I said, carrying around all of that extra weight. And we've heard of people that forget to turn off their water pump and flood their RV while driving down the road. To finish off the bedroom, I secured the closet by moving all of the heavy, bulky items from the top down to the floor, and then I made sure I put a dog strap on the door there as well, a dog collar, and I moved all of the items off of the dresser onto the bed, as well as the monitor for the computer. So any breakable items, I just wrap everything in blankets and pillows, so they're all good to go. The slide has already been pulled in there, so we are ready to hit the road. If we're doing a long trip, I like to pre-pack lunches and put them in the fridge, because we are able to access the fridge completely with the slides in, as well as the bedroom and the bathroom.